I decided it was way too long since I last did a review of a monitor. It's just a 1080p monitor. I don't normally use 1080p, but it's 24 inches, so I think the pixel density will be fine. It's an LCD, and the price was amazing. It was like 100 Canadian dollars, which is 70, 75 US dollars. So I decided, I'm going to just pick it up because the price is good. It's the L24i-40. I've used similar spec monitors from them. I typically find they are very well calibrated and also have pretty good colors overall. So even though it's a 1080p, it should be fine. It does have FreeSync, so if you're looking for a gaming monitor, it's not going to be, it's nothing like 155 hertz refresh rate or anything like that, but it does have FreeSync. So if you're looking for a monitor that's kind of an all-in-one, it's going to have really, really good colors, and then it also has some gaming ability as well. This might be one. And then the monitor itself down here. Oh, it's actually a different color than I thought. I didn't realize it was silver. For some reason, I thought it was black. So it's got like this kind of matte gray kind of color there, which is actually kind of nice. Nice and thin there, like the top part of the LCD is obviously you can see perfectly thin, and then most of the internals are just in there. Port selection here we can see on the bottom, so we obviously get our power, some vents for heat, HDMI, VGA, and then I guess that's a headphone in there. So, it's not staggering when it comes to all the different ports. This is kind of like a basic office use monitor. That VGA is going to be really useful for me because my monitors here don't have VGA, either of these that I have, which you may think, why do you need VGA? Well, I actually do test older stuff often. I don't often post about it on YouTube, but I do mess around with older tech. Then you get your controls over here, like the nipple style thing, and that there. I actually really like the color of it. I like this matte color. AP screen, hook it up, especially VGA type stuff. It's actually going to be nice, and the price is so cheap. Right. There we go, all hooked up. I kind of forgot that 24 is actually a fairly decent sized monitor. I'm so used to gigantic 32-inch monitors over here, and my 32-ish inch monitor over there. You can definitely tell the pixel density. It's a 4K 32. You can definitely see the pixel density on 1080p here. You have FreeSync on it. You can go up to 100 hertz refresh rate. 1080p. It depends what kind of gaming you're looking for. But if you're not bringing out yourself, especially nowadays. A lot of these games that are releasing nowadays, you can have yourself like a pretty decent mid-range or even mid to high-range card, and you're basically playing at 1080p, right? And you're shooting for like 1080p, 60, 70, 80 FPS. So 1080p at 100 hertz for a lot of people is going to be fine. Okay, let's check the colors here. So I have my Dell monitor over here, which is an extremely high-end 4K monitor. This one being a tiny bit oversaturated. The red is just slightly oversaturated. When I compare it to very well calibrated screens, you can see that it's very, very slightly oversaturated. Here, it's a creator level screen. This is designed specifically for color work, and it is less saturated. You may not see it on camera, but this is slightly less saturated. So I can tell right off the bat that this is oversaturated. Doesn't show up well on camera, it's just the way that it is. But what that is telling me is that this is actually a very well calibrated screen. The blacks look actually quite solid there. See if we can get this on camera. No bloom at all. I'm not even turning down the camera. Perfect bloom, no IPS bleed over here or bloom on the sides there, so nice and crisp. Blues are very vibrant. Actually, the blues are very, very vibrant there. Incredibly vibrant. Let's go to a scene that has a little bit more diversity of color. Here's a good scene for us here because we get some blues and greens in that. Checo braided is over here. So this is just factory. I just showed up and it's just right out of the factory here. Let's bring this in and check out some of the brightness and contrast. So this little control back here is nice and easy to use. Turn it up bright. Yeah, much brighter now at 100%. Dynamic contrast ratio. We can try. Oh, it does work. Wow, okay. So yeah, it does show up on my camera too. That's good actually. So the dynamic contrast ratio is working. Overdrive. Overdrive is going to increase the response time, not the refresh rate. Let's put it on extreme. We might as well. Okay, so we're going to turn the speakers all the way up while we're at it because we're going to do an audio test after, but then I can control it from Windows rather than having to go through here. FreeSync should be auto, so let it do its thing. Okay, let's play this again now with the dynamic contrast ratio turned up. Yeah, it's much more vibrant now. That's a good scene right there for sure. Okay, we'll come through here and we'll test out the audio. I like to use this Lo-Fi Girl stuff, as you guys know in my videos. I'm gonna turn it up, see if it gets distorted. It's gonna get super loud. Yeah, it gets really loud. Like 85 is like uncomfortable. I have, the Dell here doesn't have speakers built in, but the LG does. And this is like an 800 Canadian dollar screen. The speakers suck. Like they're actually very bad in this monitor here. I never use them because they sound like hollow, tinny garbage. It's a fantastic screen. Don't get me wrong. This is a beautiful, amazing screen, but the speakers suck. I think you can actually get by with this, to be honest. It's not going to have the bass of, you know, like a big sound bar or a set of, you know, bookshelf speakers. Not even close. But it sounds really nice, actually. I think that's actually one of the more compelling features of this screen here, is it actually has really nice speakers. Okay, let's do some Star Wars Jedi Survivor gameplay here. Again, this is I'm playing with a 7600 RX 7600, which is a brand new GPU for 2023. I also have, you know, a 3060, 5700 XT, Intel Arc A750. You know, I have all these GPUs, and they can often do 1440p and sometimes even 4K. But it really is going to depend on what game you're playing. You know, very demanding brand new titles like this. This is a brand new title for 2023. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, very difficult to run. You can see here, I mean, this GPU, we're not even getting the 100 FPS anyways that you'd want to get, you know, to basically, because you have that 100 hertz refresh rate. So it's not like we're going to be, you know, oh, we only have 100 hertz refresh rate. So we can, but we can only get up to 100 FPS anyways. Yeah, so I mean, like with a GPU like this, I mean, 1080p Epic, with a 7600, RX 7600, or say, you know, you're using a 3060. I have a 3060 as well. You know, these are the type of frames you're going to be targeting, you know, 60, 70, 80, 100 FPS, right? Like I said, right? So, I mean, you can turn these things down, but you're going to look at yourself and say, well, it's only 100 hertz, but are you going to be playing a lot of these games at over 100 FPS? So yeah, it seems to be doing pretty well. I'm not seeing any tearing or anything like that, which is nice. You know, no tearing whatsoever. Yeah, it seems to be fine over here. I mean, the Freesync is helping. I'm not getting any tearing. This might make you motion sick. So if you get motion sick, pause for a second or look away. But if you don't get motion sick, I mean, you can see there's no tearing on the screen there at all. So the Freesync is clearly working. I'm just going crazy on this here. So what do I think about this monitor? We'll end with Starfield here. Well, I actually think it's a good monitor. Here's the thing. It's about 100, 130. It's going to cost you about 100 US dollars. I mean, you can get sales, bring it down. I got this for 138 Canadian. So, you know, we're looking at, I don't know, it's about 100 US dollars, maybe 110, something like that. What else are you really going to buy around that price point here? It's 100% sRGB. You get good color range on 100% sRGB. Lenovo does calibrate their screens well, I find. So if you do need some color accuracy on your screen, or you just like it for gaming purposes, and you know, for gaming, depending on what you're looking for, it's going to be nice. It does have FreeSync, so you're not going to be getting tearing. FreeSync actually does help quite a bit with tearing, obviously, as you can see here. And here's the thing: you may say, well, it's just 100 hertz refresh rate. It's not gaming. Well, name a game that's brand new, like Starfield, that you can run on anything but very high-end hardware at 1080p and get above 100 FPS. You know, I'll wait. I can't hear you because you're on a video here, but there's not a lot. I mean, you're getting into some very high-end GPUs. Maybe a 7800 XT from AMD, 4070 Ti. These type of GPUs is where you're going to be getting, you know, 1080p gaming where you're going to exceed 100 FPS. This is an RX 7600, brand new GPU for the year. Not the most powerful, but it's also not like a crappy old GPU or anything. It is capable. And this is running at 60 FPS, right? And this is like a $300 GPU. So overall, I think it's a really compelling buy for what it is. I mean, don't pick this monitor up if you're playing. I mean, maybe don't pick this monitor up. You have yourself a 4090 and you're looking for, you know, the best screen. That doesn't even make sense. But for what it is here, I think it's actually looks pretty nice.